Cindy. Good evening. I hope nobody has been waiting for me. Say hi when you come in. I noticed last week when I went live, I forgot to put my microphone in, and the sound was so terrible. I can't believe you all just hung around when the volume was so bad, right? So let me know if this sound is much better. I got my Yeti in right now, and yeah, it works. It works much better, but I'm not quite sure if I've got the volume up high enough. So just let me know when you come in, and be sure to say hi. I'm frazzled as usual with my lives. I just walked in the door. I got up this morning, and yeah, I didn't feel very good. In the past couple of nights, I've been getting up really, really, like really early, like, going to bed at like 9:30 and waking up at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, and just staying up, right? And yeah, because I'm not a napper, yeah, it makes for a long night. So tonight I'm going to try and stay up as late as I can so I can get back into my regular sleep. I don't know why I'm getting up, but yeah, I actually get out of bed and everything and come out here and make a cup of coffee. And yeah, and the past couple of days I was like head of the game, and I had posts and everything all done. And yeah, and then I was hanging out with my sisters, and yeah, it's just been busy. And then this morning, yeah, like I said, I woke up this morning, I wasn't feeling very good, and I said, oh, it's time for some fresh air, when I feel like that. It's always nice to go out for a country drive. And because it's my birthday, everybody, not today, it's the 20th, but in 2 days it's going to be my birthday, right? So I always go out for a drive every year, and usually I go for like an overnight drive or something, but this year I just decided just to stay pretty close to the city, right? And I went down to Lockport, and I had myself a little barbecue by the river. And yeah, and I just did some little drives, and yeah, visited a few churches and stuff today. Yeah, it was just one of those days. But yeah, and then I went and I had a quick coffee with my sister, and then I said, oh, I gotta go. I forgot totally. Like, I have to go live at 7:30, right? So I rushed home right away. That's why, I'm a couple minutes late here for my live tonight, and I do apologize, right? That's one thing I don't like to do, is I don't like to be late, right? So yeah, so I apologize if I lost anybody on the way, and hopefully you come back and watch it on the rewind, tonight or tomorrow. I notice a lot of my views come after the live. Actually, they don't. So I'm not sure whether the timing that I put my live on is not convenient for people. If you have an idea of a better time for me to do my live, like, yeah, definitely let me know, because I would like to try, to see what's most convenient for everybody to come on. But I see that, that I get probably 5 times as many views, in the day or two after my initial, hi Andrew, after my initial upload, right? So yeah, if you guys think you might have a day that might be more convenient for our lives, yes, definitely. Oh, Robert, awesome, nice to see you tonight, Robert. Terrific. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, the guys are here earlier than the ladies are today, right? I was saying I went out. I left a coffee cup. Sharon, when she pops in or she watches this video, she'll notice when we went out exploring, we went to a site, but I was doing some filming and stuff, and I had my travel mug, my favorite one, the one that you can't get anymore, right? And it has that lid, and I've got like at least 10 of the cups, but I only have a few of the lids, right? And I left it there. So today I was in the neighborhood, so I thought, oh, I'll go check it out. So I was traipsing through the ground. I got some beautiful pictures, but I never did find my coffee cup, right? So Oh, well, it's okay. Every once in a while, I'll come across one like at Value Village, like a thrift shop or something, So, and then I'll snag them just for the lids, right? Yeah, they were really great, and they fit really good in the cup holders, in the cars and stuff, and they never seemed to slop, and the lids were on good. Yeah, yeah. So I stopped off. I went for coffee with my sister, right? And we get those 55 plus McDonald's coffees. Yeah. There's a little bit of a bonus when you get older, you get those discounts, right? And I never think to ask for those discounts. I know at the drugstores and stuff like that you can get those discounts, but I never think to ask, but it's because I don't have that mentality, right? Like that, like I just don't feel my age, right? And I don't act my age. For sure I don't act my age. Yeah, so I don't think of these things. But when you're going through the McDonald's drive-through and you're sitting in the car, right? Like we're all proud of ourselves, like me and my sister like high-fiving ourselves because yeah, we get these cheap coffees now with the 55 plus. So yeah, we don't forget those, right? How's how's the sound of the microphone? Is the sound okay? Do you need me to turn it up or anything? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I didn't do a test of the sound. Like I said, I just ran in the door. I barely had time to get my boots off and my coat off, and I just threw it on live. But I had to make sure that the camera was good, right? Because like I said, it drives me absolutely bonkers when I see my Prairie Dodgers and it's all wonky, right? And I can see that it's a little bit wonky. And I gotta try not to make those little things bother me at all. But yeah, so if I seem a little busy now, that's me just settling in now. I'm all happy. I'm all comfortable, right? I'm all relaxed now. So, what's everybody doing today for a Sunday? We had Thanksgiving last weekend. It went over really, really well. Yeah, with my sisters and my brother-in-laws and stuff. Yeah, so it was lots. Oh, and my niece is pregnant, so I thought that was pretty cool. But I knew that a month ago. I chit-chatted with her, right? And I'm really good at keeping secrets, and everybody was bugging me. They knew something was up, and everybody was bugging me for a month, right? For a month. And I just kept trying to sway him away. And I think at the end, I had him finally convinced that, the announcement was a trip that they were going on or something. But I managed to keep it a secret for a month. So I was pretty proud of myself. Oh, okay. It sounds like you got a little routine going on for Sundays, Andrew. Oh, awesome. Thanks for letting me know, Andrew. Oh. Yeah, I haven't had that happen to me. Mind you, when I was in Toronto, I had a woman and she was almost the same age as me, like almost the same age as me, and nobody was getting up to let her sit down, right? No, not like I'm saying somebody my age needs to sit down. I mean, I didn't, right? But I was sitting like right there, so I just jumped up right away and I gave her my seat and everything. So, yeah, because even though you see somebody and they look like they don't look like I look healthy and everything, but that doesn't mean that I am. Like I could have arthritis or my legs could be swollen, like they're not, but I'm saying they could be because, lots of times you don't notice these things, right? So yeah, she jumped into the seat right away. So I knew she was probably hurting, right? So yeah, I was happy that I got up, but I was surprised though that there were all the young because it was all university students and everything. I was surprised that nobody jumped up to offer her a seat. Oh, do you, Andrew? Yeah, I don't nap at all. I don't nap at all. Like Uh, you know what? That's not true because when I come home from camping, I always leave early in the morning when I come home from camping so that I'm always home by lunchtime, and I always just walk in the door. I don't even unload the car or anything. I just walk in the door and I just have a shower and I just crawl into bed, and then I usually wake up at 7 o'clock at night, right? So, but other than that, yeah, no, I don't nap at all. Yeah, I know, because they're not being taught the etiquette, right? They're not, I don't know if they're not, I don't think they're being rude, I just don't think they know it because they haven't been brought up, right? That way, Andrew, with to for manners and stuff like that. And not all of them, right? You can't judge, one set of kids by another set of kids, right? Because, lots of parents are doing a really, really good job, but and lots of parents are having a hard time, right? And doing the best they can. But you're right, there are people out there that, they just don't have the time, or they just can't be bothered to raise their children with a little bit of sad to say, some etiquette, right? Yeah. It's everything. Yeah, it's everything. It's how you get your self-worth and how you project yourself to other people, right? How other people view you and stuff. And it always reflects on your family. Like when I go to the grocery store or something, and the little kids bump into me and stuff, and they go, "Oh, excuse me." I always make it a big point going, "Oh, what great manners you have. You're going to grow up to have so many friends when you grow up." And you say things like that to the kids, right? And they remember these things, right? You know, it, kids are so smart. Like, yeah, they're like little radars, right? They're just so hungry for information, right? You got to be careful what you say to them, right? Yeah. Yeah, and they'll pick up all your bad habits and your good habits, but they'll pick up your bad habits for sure. Yeah, that was from my day and age, Andrew. Yeah, holding the doors open. Yeah, big thing in our family was always saying hello. When you pass somebody, you always look at them in the eye and you say hello as you pass them, right? There were lots of them, right? Yeah. Dinner at the table. Like, the kids don't even have family dinner at home, I always say that parents can get so much information and can figure out where their kids are at in life just by paying attention to how they're interacting at the kitchen table, you know? They can't get away, right? Like, we weren't allowed to leave the kitchen table. I mean, we could say excuse me, but it was always up to them whether or not we could leave the table or not, right? But yeah, and like country drives and stuff like that, when my dad would take us on drives and stuff, like, I would say half the time that he took us off for drives, it was just to get the lowdown on what was going on with his family, right? So he knew what he had to work on next, right? Yeah, my dad was that way. Yeah. Spent all his time with his family, right? Like, he loved his life. Like, he had a total life outside of his family, but when he was home, he was all about his family, right? Yeah. Very rarely would he bring his friends over to the house, that was just like a totally different life for my dad, right? That he just didn't, mind you, we did bump into them once in a while and stuff, all the interesting characters that he hung out with. But yeah. And that's why I just wish that my dad was alive when I was an adult, right? That I would be able to sit and have a conversation with my dad and, find out what he really was like as a man, right? Because I was barely out of my teenage years when my dad passed away, right? And I really wasn't paying attention, I don't think, because you know, I wish my dad was my best friend, right? So yeah, I would just love to have found out more, like if I had paid more interest in his past life, right? You know? like I know lots of things, from photo albums and stuff like that, and from stories he told me, but to actually really be super interested and get all the stories down packed, that would have been really nice, right? But we don't always get those opportunities, right? So you can't regret it or anything. It's just what it is what it is. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. And you know what? It gives the parents pride, right? Because that's what I was saying, Andrew, is that you know, children's manners actually reflect the parents, right? Because I always make a parent, even as adults, when like I'm at the grocery store or something, and the adults are holding the door for me as I'm coming through the door, when they go out the door and they'll turn around and hold the door open. And I always say something, oh, compliments to your mom. She brought you up well. And I make little comments like that, right? Right? Because when she start doing that and they hear that, it imprints on them, right? And then they take a little bit of pride in that, and then they carry on, and then the reactions, you can just see it in people's faces when you say comments like that. You get that warm look in their faces, and that little bit of pride. When you catch that, it gives you a little bit of pride, right? For thinking to make note of it, right? And express your feeling about it, right? So yeah, my dad was very, very very smart that way, right? But yeah, it was important for him too, right? To reflect that way too, and live that way. Wouldn't that have been nice? Thank you notes. Oh, so that's why you enjoy writing? How old were you then? Yeah, because if you were like taught to write thank you notes, that may be where that love for writing came from, for your letters and stuff that you like. Oh, William's here. Excuse me. Oh, and Ashley's here. Oh, Ashley, good point, Ashley. Yeah, yeah, because what happens is those children and those teenagers and stuff that aren't brought well, they take it to school, right? And then in order to get the respect that they need, right? Because they obviously don't have the etiquette. So then what they do is they go to the other spectrum, right? Where they not so good, and then they'll try and influence, or what do you call that? Improperly influence their friends and stuff. Yeah, you made a good point. And and each generation has amazing things about them, right? I like how this generation is so into taking care of the world, right? For the future. And I really like that. And I really like how this generation has really buckled down on the bullying, right? Oh, some of the things that I've been studying like the most interesting, like Yale talks and stuff, right? And so interesting and so insightful, and it's just amazing, what bullying does to people, not just as a kid, impacts them, and some people just don't even get, little traits. Sometimes they're just impacted deeply, deeply for their entire lives, so deeply that it affects their lives, right? Makes it so they can't move forward and stuff. Oh, these talks it was, yeah, I saw, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. It was very interesting. Yeah, they call it, what were the talks called? Emotional intelligence. Yeah, so these are the talks that I'm working on, right? Because I want to be a thought leader and stuff. I guess I'm being suggested, videos that I can keep um my thoughts, right? But keep my emotional thoughts on an intellectual level, and not so much of the emotional, right? Because I'm Not so bad as of late, but I used to be. Well, you guys know my lives, even from last year, me bawling my eyes out throughout my lives and stuff, right? So you know how emotionally strung I could be, right? So I guess that's probably why these topics are being suggested to me, right? So yeah, so if I do want to be a thought leader and stuff, right, then I have to, I guess, get more, well, just more of a handle, right? A more of an understanding of why these emotions, right, surface the way they do, and then just give me little techniques so that even though I might be nervous or sad, or not even sad, right? Because it this emotional intelligence, it teaches you how to be happy all the time, right? So and it's and if you follow the methods and stuff, that maybe you can actually live a really happy life. So those are the topics I've been studying. I'm sure none of you guys are really interested in that. Yeah, you're so right there, Andrew. Yeah, you're so right. And that's why I think this generation's really got a handle on it. It's gonna be so helpful for maybe the next generation, right? Because a lot of times, like, if this generation hasn't been treated well, lots of times when they have babies and stuff, then they think, well, I don't want that to happen to my children, and they become more attentive, right? So yeah, let's hope for the next generation, right? That we can start clearing a lot of that, right? Yeah. But it is, right? And it's just the way, I feel bad, like, because in the countries like India, right? And I watch a lot of, like, um, documentaries and vloggers and stuff, and travelers and stuff that do India, and I see the state of how India is doing. There's such a high population there, and if they could just find a way to solve their sewage system, right? They really need to put any extra penny that they could possibly scrape together. Maybe, like, the world could come together for them or something and help them out or something, because that's going to be detrimental, to the whole world at some point. And nobody should have to live like that, and but what do you do? Where are they going to put it, right? So yeah, it's I don't know if anybody sees anything about what's going on over there in India, but yeah, that just in the markets and stuff, like, I don't know why more people, their bodies must build up a resistance to it, right? Yeah, they say 80% of the households in India don't have washrooms. Is that not incredible? Now, I don't quote me on that, but I do believe that was something that I came across this past year, because it was just incredible. What was the name? I can't remember. It was one of the vloggers, I think, that I watch. Yeah, but yeah, it's a state there. And you're right there too, Al, also, Andrew. Sunday night football, and I've actually got viewers. Maybe that's why I don't get as many live people, but I get also many of those afterwards, right? After my live is over, they come in and watch it, right? But leave a comment down below, right? If you miss us in the live, just say hi or something, eh? Just let us know that you actually pop by, because I don't really know unless you leave a comment, right? If you actually, was able to actually, pop by and see it, right? Because lots of times I expect certain people to show up in my lives and stuff, and they don't make it, right? Oh, yeah, William, you have to watch. Just Google it, right? Just I would go, like, Yeah, I would just sewage system, India, they just need some plants. They need some kind of reservoirs, to help keep things clean because that stuff is going into the ocean. That's going into the soil for their crops and stuff, right? What do you call that? Is it trichomonas? Is that trichomonas? No. I'm trying to think which one it is that goes in E. coli, maybe. Yeah, and when it goes into the fields and stuff, and then the crops are growing in it. Yeah, leprosy's coming back. Wow. Yeah, I can't remember. It's I can't remember, Andrew. Oh, do you watch all my videos? Oh, that's nice, you Robert. I know you've been with me a long time. I know you have. I'm going to go out tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to make my YouTube video tomorrow, but I have to go I went out today, right? I went out today for myself just to get out for a while and it was a really, really nice day. I actually stopped in a park and they had fire pits, and I brought wieners with me just in case I came across a fire pit because there's lots of rest stops and stuff like that on the highways. But I didn't know how far I was going, right? So, but I just stayed basically around the small towns around the cities. And yeah, I ended up in Lockport for a little while and they had the fire pit. So, yeah, it was nice to sit there and go for a little bit of a walk and along the river and stuff. The rivers are just swollen here. I know last year, like I was thinking that I wanted to go and do some mudlarking, right? But the water is right right up, like way up high. It's almost like spring levels, right? So I don't know if that's going to cause us some problems. We had a big snowstorm last week. I don't know if anybody heard about our big snowstorm. It lasted 3 days here, right? And we just got bombarded. We had 10% of our trees, and I've done videos showing our how many trees we have here, but 10% of our trees were damaged here in Manitoba. So it was a really, really bad storm. And yeah, they haven't even finished cleaning it up, right? All these great big branches, like the branches that are like this wide, like they snapped right in half. Like the trees were just felled because what happened is it started with rain snow, and because the leaves hadn't finished shedding, they clung to the leaves, and then it snowed, and then the branches got weighted down right to the ground, and then they started snapping, right? But now everybody, and it's sad to say, but everybody's dragged these branches from their yards out to the boulevards, right? Expecting that the city is going to come and pick up these big branches and stuff, and the city's not doing that, right? The cities are just picking up the branches from the boulevard, so the place still just looks like a total mess out there, right? So, but yeah, the other cities in Canada came out here because it was a state of emergency, right? And they brought their equipment and they helped to fix the hydro lines and to pick up all those trees. We lost so many. Yeah. Our elms, I wanted to do like a series on my elm trees, right? Because my elm trees, our elm trees, right? To maybe get photos in different seasons. And I'm going to start with winter, right? And then I'm just going to pick one street or a couple of streets, and then I'm just going to take a photo from one end of the street to the other, because what happens is those elm trees make those beautiful tree tunnels when you drive down the roads, right? They're very, very special to the city of Winnipeg. But because of the Dutch elm disease, we're losing our elm trees by 1,000 trees, I think, a year. We're losing our elm trees from this disease. It's a beetle, right? That's getting into the bark and it's killing the trees. And so what the city has decided is now they're going to line the boulevards with different types of trees, with, I think they said they're going to use some aspens, and I can't remember the other tree. There was another tree. But yeah, so they're going to start mixing up. So I'm going to assume the beautiful Dutch elm tunnels are going to slowly disappear because those streets are just lined with elm trees. But as the disease takes over and the trees are replaced with the other varieties, those tunnels are going to look different. So I thought, oh, what a great idea, right? To take a picture of the surviving tunnels, because those trees very special to Winnipeg. If you ever come to Winnipeg, you just want to take a drive up and down all the residential streets and stuff. Even downtown, beautiful trees downtown in the meridians and stuff. Yeah, we love our trees here. Really? There's leprosy in San Francisco? Ugh. Oh, really? Is that ever interesting? R. Owen? R. Owen? William, or is that what you're saying? R. Owen from our lives, our chatter lives. He put an explore video out. Yeah, I'll definitely wanna see it because I thought I had his notification. Maybe I didn't have the bell hit, right? And he doesn't upload as often. So yeah, because we don't want to be making statements that aren't true, right? Yeah, I have been so out of touch. I don't even watch the news. I don't watch TV. The only news I get is what Google throws at us, right? I have a Google Pixel, right? So I have the news if I do a right swipe, but I don't even really use that unless there's something really going on that I want to keep on track of, right? I don't know, Andrew, but if Owen comes in tonight, you should just ask him about it. Yeah, because because Owen he messages me, right? He emails me, so we have conversations and stuff. So I know I could pull it up, but yeah, I can't be giving it out or anything, right? But I guess I could say what his channel name was. But yeah, I'll look for that. If he doesn't pop in tonight, oh Andrew, I will let you know what his channel's name was. Yeah, I think it was Owen something, but I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% positive on that. So what else is new and exciting with everybody? It's nice to see Robert. Is Robert still here? Yeah, it was nice to see Robert popping in. I like Robert. But yeah, that's those see, and leprosy that comes from uncleanliness. Is that where leprosy comes from? I'm not really quite sure. I know it's a Bible disease, and I know you can lose fingers and toes, and your nose can fall off and stuff, right? Like, but I don't know too much about the disease. I don't know what it's caused by. I know that in the Bible, like they lived in caves by themselves and that it was super contagious, right? But that's all I know about it. Oh, Robert's here. Awesome. So you heard me say that. Yeah, I'm trying to think what he has a tiny figure. I think it's really dark. The thumbnail's really dark and there's a tiny figure in the thumbnail. Yeah, so but I don't know what the darkness is. I'm just trying to think when I'm seeing it, in my mind's eye there, right? Mm. Nice to be home. Nice to be home. Yeah, I got up this morning and yeah, I just got ready right away and did a little bit of a tidy up and stuff. And I got some really, really pretty photos today. But yeah, my phone's almost dead. And yeah, I made a few posts and I got a little bit of video. I don't know what I'll do with it if it's for my YouTube. I don't think it's long enough. I think, I want to have at least a 10 or a 15-minute explore to post to my YouTube. And I'm just practicing too right now, right? Because I don't have an editor anymore, right? Well, editor, like my editing program. I don't have my editing program anymore, right? And I don't know whether or not if I should just learn a new program, download a free one but and learn a new one. It shouldn't be hard. I think all the programs are pretty. I looked at the YouTube one, but it didn't look like that I could add extra clips to the editor. I think I can just edit videos that are already uploaded, right? So that's mind you, yeah. But I probably have. Yes, I'm just thinking to myself out loud. Sorry, everybody. That's exactly what I do, right? Like I sit here and I go, but oh, and then till finally I get to the answer that I need, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's sad to hear if those kind of diseases are back, right? Because like there were lots of terrible diseases that people just died from, right? If you got it, you were what was that? There was typhoid and there was chicken pox. There was the insulin, right? For diabetes before that, polio, right? There were lots and lots of terrible, terrible diseases that have now are kind of obsolete, right? No, not right now, Robert. I don't. I not for the old buildings. I got some short clips and stuff, and I know I have some old video that I need to put together, right? I wanted to put something together for Canada's 150th birthday, right? Or not Canada's, sorry, Manitoba's 150th birthday this year, right? So I wanted to do something. Okay, 50th anniversary for your church. Yeah, I'm going to be 58. 58 this week. It's something because last year I thought I was 57, right? So it feels odd because it feels like I got an extra year. Because I thought I was 57 last year, but I was actually 57 this year. So yeah, 58 this year. That's okay. I still got tons of time. Yeah, to fill up my life. Tons of time. So, what's going on with everybody? Nobody has any questions? But yeah, when I go up exploring, like if there are interesting buildings and stuff, I usually do stop and take some video and take some pictures and stuff, right? But today when I went out today, it was just to be with me, right? Yeah. It was just a nice day just to relax and just be with myself. I've been spending lots of time with my family, with my sisters and stuff lately, right? Like I said, I'm the black sheep of the family, right? So I had some, I'm not making up, right? So they kind of they know where I'm coming from too, right? And I understand where they're coming from and hopefully, we can do better by it. And I won't have to run off like I was running away from home. I won't have to do that anymore, right? But at the same time, right, I can't be around negativity anymore. I just, you know, I know there are times when it can't be helped, right? But if I can help it, I would not like to be around it. And I'm not going to put myself in those situations where I'm going to feel really bad about myself, or at the same time maybe feel bad about somebody else, right? Like, yeah, like why? Right? Yeah. So yeah, we had the talk. So she's going to try and I'm going to try, and we'll see how this goes this time, right? Yeah. Oh, Owen is here. Oh, and Kim's here too. Awesome. How have you been doing, Kim? Last time I talked to you, you weren't feeling very well. Actually, I think you said that you were going to the hospital. I hope you're feeling better. Hope you're up and about and doing well. Yeah, it's oh, Nancy. Where's Nancy? Oh, makes me nervous when I don't see Nancy, right? But I've been like, throwing great thoughts out her way all the time and everything. And yeah, hmm. If you see this later on, Nancy, I hope you're doing good. Leave a comment in the comments below just to say hi and just let us know that you're doing good, right? Yeah. I know she would have been in the live by now if she was going to pop in with us tonight. So I'm really hoping she's doing good. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember when I was in my 20s, my doctor said that did they set up an appointment to have that done on my wrist and everything, right? And then it just went away and never bothered me ever again, right? So it was obviously not what they said it was, right? So I don't know why I didn't have that operation. There was some reason why I didn't have it. Maybe it was inconvenient with work or something, right? I don't know, but I remember that issue that I had in my wrist, it went away, so I didn't end up having to have that operation. Uh, yeah. If I had had the operation, right, it would have been needless. But yes, good luck on that surgery. That's day surgery though, right? Carpal, that you will just go in and they'll do it there and then you'll just go home the same day. Trying to just keep up with these comments here. Yeah. So what were you doing today, Owen? We were talking. Andrew actually had a question. He was curious about something. Oh, they want to know your channel. See, and I got his thumbnail totally wrong. It was a cat. I said it was a dark thumbnail with somebody's a figure in it, right? But I was totally wrong. It was the cat. Oh, that's nice of you, William. That's nice of William to say. Yeah, I don't know, Andrew. It sounds like William is just chatting it up just as much as you are these days, right? Yeah. William usually texts me in the morning, wishes me to have a nice day, says good morning to me every morning. He sends me a message through Instagram. I posted a few times. I don't know if any of you guys are watching my Instagram post, but I posted a few times today. But yeah, isn't yeah, William's so thoughtful. I was actually in William's website the other day. Now there was a reason why. Oh, because I think he changed his thumbnail. Did you change your thumbnail, William? I think William did change his thumbnail, right? Because I wasn't too sure who that was, so I had to double check. So I went into the website and then I saw that it was William. I think that's what it was. Oxtail. Yuck. Robert. Yuck. Oxtail. Oxtail. Oh, yeah. It doesn't even sound good. Yeah. Is that what the things? Oh, and I can see them too, right? And then it's the bone marrow that you scoop out the bone marrow out of the bones. Yes, exactly. Hit his thumbnail. It'll take you right to Owen's channel, and then you can just pop right back here. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, vital organs. No, well, wieners, right? From what I hear, wieners have a lot of vital organs in them, right? I like wieners because you can't tell that they were an animal, right? Because I don't have an aversion to meat itself, but it has to be cooked. Like I can't see a tendon, I can't see a vein, I can't see blood, I can't see any of that. If I recognize it as something that was living, yeah, that will really. Sometimes I can't even do eggs. Like I'll make a plate of scrambled eggs, ready to go, yum yum, and yeah, I can't even eat them. Sometimes I have to cover them in ketchup so I don't recognize what the eggs are, right? Yeah. And I pluck out those little white things that are attached to the egg yolks, which are the placentas. Yeah, I scoop those out too. I don't, yeah, not eating baby chickens. But I am making a soup tomorrow. I got a pork roast in the fridge, right? So I'm gonna make a pork roast for supper tomorrow. And then I bought a bag of beans, and I bought some celery and some onions and some mixed vegetables. And I can't even think, but I'm gonna make a nice pork vegetable soup. It'll be really, really good. And I'll eat that for a couple of days, right? I gotta be out job hunting and everything this week. So, and oh, right. And I want to make sure that I go for a swim this week too. I want to go swimming this week too. I want to make sure that I want to try different types of exercise and stuff, right? Oh, that's nice of you to say, William. But oh, and I didn't know that you uploaded a video. I'll have to come over. I guess I didn't push the notification bell, right? So they don't notify me when you upload a video. So I'll make sure that I hit that notification bell so that when you do upload a video, they'll send me an email right away and I can go check out your video. I don't know. Somebody in the comments said that you had just uploaded a video. So yeah, I wouldn't mind checking it out. But what's going on? I changed the channel art, my channel art. I'm going to change it again right away. And I'm just playing with the new program, right? So I just changed that just to time me over until I could get back to it. I'm falling a little bit behind in a few things, like, I'm falling behind in some videos that I have to catch up on, and some lessons, and I have to get my resume revamped. So I'll work on that one, I think maybe tonight. And I've been supposed to be working in my calendar, right? Because I'm trying to get good at my calendar and stick to my calendar. And I think I'm fumbling on that too. So yeah, I want to work on a little bit in that too. So oh yeah, Kim, I have that picture in saved in my subscribers. I have a file that's just things that my subscribers send to me and stuff, like when they send me emails and stuff, I always send them, like memories, right? Like my little photo album, and then I stick it to my subscribers file, right? So that I can go back and look at it. Yeah, so I do have that picture there, but I don't have the physical picture, right? What part of the city are you living in now, Kim? Did you say Kildonan? Yeah, you were moving to the other end of the city from what I said. Oh, I love pork. Pork is one of the meats that I will eat, because you don't see that funny stuff in it, right? It's just weight. Yeah, I can do pork. Not too much like pork chops, right? Because I'll never get close to the bone or anything. But yeah, pork roast. I'll do a pork roast, or I'll do like sweet and sour pork, or dried pork bits. Oh, those are good. I like pork. I like pork. Lamb, I don't eat lamb at all. I eat very, very, very little beef. I do some hamburger. Um, Fish. I do a little bit of fish, but if I'm gonna eat stuff, like I would choose something else, right? And fish is very expensive, so it's not something I really bring into the household, right? Yeah. Beef is a guy's thing, right? Yeah. My dad, he used to do those great big Flintstone T-bones. They were his absolute favorite, right? They smelled so good when he was frying them. Like he would put them under the broiler, right? He had a little system that he had, and the fat would gristle and stuff. And yeah, my dad loved his steaks. Yeah. But do you know that lamb is actually the number one meat in the world? The Europeans eat a lot of lamb, like a lot of lamb. But here in Canada, we're not really big on it, right? But I mean, they do have the odd packages where you can get like the lamb chops at the grocery store, but they usually will only put out a couple of them, right? Because they aren't really popular. Ah, Kim. She's laughing right now. Oh, Pat's here. Awesome. Yeah, Kim's probably just laughing at us. I make an awesome liver. I can't make liver or eat it myself, but I make an awesome liver and onions. Yeah. Liver has to be cooked like perfectly, right? Otherwise it's just not edible. It's either bleeding or it's like leather, right? So yeah, there's a little bit of a finesse to cooking liver, and I'm pretty good at. I'm a pretty good cook. But I don't cook anymore, right? I just cook what I like to eat because it's just me, right? So I eat a lot of eggs, and I eat a lot of sausages, and drink a lot of coffee, and I've introduced fruits back into my diet, right? So I've been eating apples and oranges and pears. So I've been enjoying, and it's the season now too, right? The prices are really good in the supermarket. So and so I wanted to stock up on a little bit of those kind of nutrients and those kind of foods, right? That you don't buy when they're like super expensive, right? But yeah, the for fruit, I've really been enjoying the pears lately and plums. I love plums. But, it's just, some things are just so expensive, right? Like, I know when I go grocery shopping with my sisters and I look at the price of the meat, right? And then you wonder why the kids grow up on craft dinner, right? Because, the parents just can't afford it. But now like a box of craft dinner is like a couple dollars almost, right? That, you might as well buy something, right? You can buy chicken cutlets or some kind of meat, right? Okay. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I had potatoes for sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah, mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. Chicken. Oh, you guys. Yeah, I think I'll stay on my diet. Cheese and grapes. I like cheese and grapes, Robert. I really like cheese and grapes. Neepawa. Oh, yeah, you really are far away. I heard that Neepawa, correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, but I heard that Neepawa was going to be turned into um, like a Filipino city, like a city for that is going to be majority Filipino, right? Isn't that amazing that they could have their own city if they want? And fix it up and their shopping and everything. I don't know if that's true. I heard along the grapevine, but yeah, living in Nipua, you would have heard something. I'm sure, right? But I heard there's lots of people from the Philippines are moving to the Nipua area, which is amazing because yeah, it was lots of seniors. It was a retirement town, and it's such a beautiful little city, right? And it's right on the corner of two highways. What are the highways? Number 5 and no, 16 and 10 or 16 and 5? Yeah. Oh, Parmesan chicken. Oh, that sounds amazing. Barbecued ribs. Are you guys just shouting out what you had for dinner? Oh, Aaron's here. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing tonight? Oh, 16 and 5. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna have their own city. Yeah, I thought they were gonna revive Nipawin. Stevia chocolate covered peanuts. That sounds really good, actually. Yeah. I need to switch up my diet now too. I feel like I've plateaued on my diet. Like I'm still on my diet and I'm still eating the absolute same, but the weight doesn't seem like it's coming off the way it was. Mind you, that's not true. Yeah. There's my legs I noticed this past week is getting smaller as my legs, right? So I guess maybe instead of the weight coming off, I maybe it's just being distributed a little bit differently, right? Yeah, just coming off slower. I still have my bike, but yeah, there's been snow on the ground. Maybe tomorrow night I'll go for a bike ride. Yes, I'll commit to a bike ride. I'll add it to my I'll add it to my calendar. There we go, adding to my calendar. I haven't had dinner. I've been out all day. I had some hot dogs this afternoon or some wieners, right? They were the barbecued wieners, like the big fat ones. I really like those ones. But yeah, for having some dinner, like I said, maybe I'll have some scrambled eggs or something. Maybe I won't eat anything at all. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, Kim, it sounds like you kind of, oh, excuse me, everybody. You're kind of limited to what you can eat, right? I've never had a headache. I've never had a headache. My whole life, I've never had a headache. Yeah. I've never had a bleeding nose. And technically, it's a broken bone, even though I didn't break any bones. I sprained all my like I slammed my hand in a dishwasher, and all the little veins and everything got crushed. And they put my hand and my up to my elbow in a cast. But that was an accident, right? And but yeah, I didn't technically break my arm, but I did break my baby finger 5 times in 1 year. I broke it. It just would not, yeah, this 1 year. I broke it 5 times in 1 year, and that's when I started, "Okay, Cindy, time for the calcium," right? And I started taking the calcium, magnesium, started feeling better almost immediately, right? Once I started taking my calcium, magnesium. Most people are deficient in it, and the people don't even know it, right? Wow. No, Kim. Oh, that's so terrible. I couldn't even imagine it, right? Like I said, like, you know, I say, "Oh, you're giving me a headache," but it's really you're just getting on my nerves, right? Like I've never had a headache. It's hard for me to even appreciate, somebody who has to suffer like that with headaches. In China, William. Wow. Yeah, it's nice when they take care of their. I saw some video. I think it was Exploring with Josh. He was just coming back from China, right? And he was showing all the cherry blossoms and everything. Oh my gosh, Andrew. Really? From a broken wrist, yes. Did you get arthritis from it, from breaking it there, from the calcium buildup, Robert? Oh, Kim, good luck. Good luck. Yes. I hope it does you lots of good for sure. But yeah, headaches like that, right? I dated, I don't know if I yeah, I saw somebody for a while, and he was very very handsome man, like very very oh, he was a really 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 nice guy, but he said that he suffered such bad headaches that he would have to lock himself in the closet, right, in the pitch black, and he would have to sit there in the pitch black, and that would be the only way that he could tolerate the world, right? But then he said that he fixed his overbite. He went to the dentist and he fixed his overbite, and he said he never had a problem with the headaches ever again after that. And he said he was like a terrible terrible sufferer from that, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I know about headaches. And my sister, she takes aspirins and Tylenols for headaches and stuff like that. But my sister's, in a very high stress job. She's an executive and stuff, right? So she deals with a lot of stress too, right? Yeah, have a great night, Kim. Well, then you did good for yourself then, right? Yeah, if the doctor said it would never move again and you actually got it working. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Andrew, like headaches, because from what I hear, headaches when I was doing research for my sister and stuff, they can be caused by so many different things, right? It's a matter of pinpointing what that reason is, right? And if you think about it, the brain doesn't actually feel pain, right? So it's not the brain. So yeah, it's sinuses maybe, maybe migraines could be like actual like symptoms for sinus issues. Aw, is that nice of you to say? This is a little bit dark. I just dyed it, right? So it's gonna turn like light pink, but it just needs a couple of washes and it'll lighten up. And then I might go one more shade lighter because I this is just a dark blonde for me. I don't think I've ever been this dark blonde, but I didn't want to do it too drastically fast to go from that dark brown, almost black to this color, right? Because you can green yourself out where your hair turns green, or I was having problems with my hair falling out. So I just didn't want it to come out in big chunks and everything, right? But I want to keep it as healthy as I can. And I know bleaching it is really tough on the hair. So yeah, I'm gonna give it another month or so. I can live with my hair for another month and maybe do something a little bit lighter for Christmas, right? Yeah, if I can lose another 10 pounds, I'm almost into my Christmas coat. I'm so excited. Yeah. We had snowstorm last week, Robert. We had a big snowstorm. So much snow. Yeah, so much snow. And we lost 10%. Well, didn't lose 10%. 10% of our trees here in Manitoba were damaged. It was a really bad. It was in the news. It was really, really bad. Like the other cities in the country had to come here and it was like declared a state of emergency and everything. It was really bad. But I did get some nice wood. Yes, I got some really, really nice wood. I'm gonna make a beautiful walking staff. Like it was a piece of old oak that had already gone into hibernation. So that's my brother-in-law. So I got to make sure that I grab that. Otherwise, he's gonna put it in his pile and burn it, and I'll be upset, right? Because I dragged that. It was a good 6 or 7 foot piece, right? Because I want to make a staff out of it, like a walking staff. Yeah, I think it'll have some beautiful colors. But I've still got Owen's stick here that needs to be finished. It's sanded and everything. It just needs to have its coats put on it, right? But yeah, it's when I get to a hardware store and I can pick up that can. I need a can of lacquer to go on it, right? And I'm very specific. I always use the Varathane exterior water based, right? So I need to get another can. Oh, okay. So Thanksgiving in the States is later in October or is it in November? What's the date usually? Does it go on a week basis or does it have its own specific date? We have Remembrance Day. I don't know if your Remembrance Day or you guys call it Veterans Day in the States, right? Yeah, I don't know if you have it on the same day as us. We have ours on November 11th, right? And I was just smelling my hands. They smell. I came in and I washed my hands and because I had a fire pit today, right? I went and I cooked barbecued hot dogs out at the park, right? Down by the river and yeah, I could smell that smoke all over me, right? It took a little bit to get the fire started. I'm like a one match wonder when it comes to doing campfires and stuff. Like I can stack wood perfectly. If they put me on that television show Survivor, like to make a fire, I would win automatically because I'm so good at making fires, right? But yeah, today it just wasn't working for me. I think like because my little twigs and stuff were probably wet because of the big snowstorm we had. Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. So it is at the end. So it's almost like a Christmas holiday, right? Yeah, because here in Canada, we don't treat our Thanksgiving like it's a Christmas holiday. Like we still do it as a family gathering, but we don't switch it out, like if you were married, like you do your wife's family on Thanksgiving and then you do your husband's family at Christmas, right? But when it's so close, the holidays are so close, right, to Christmas that it makes sense that you're able to, do one family one holiday and do the other family the other, which is pretty handy dandy. But here in Canada, like I said, we do Thanksgiving a month earlier, right? So it doesn't really work out. Mind you, we have been doing the Black Fridays, is that what you call them? The big shopping day? Yeah, we have been doing that for the past few years, and that's starting to catch on pretty good here. What? Yeah. Thanksgiving is a reason to have a turkey, right? Here in Canada, but it's not big like it is in the States. The States, they treat their Thanksgiving like a second Christmas, right? Do you give gifts at Thanksgiving? That would be a question I would be interested in here. If they do like gift giving at Thanksgiving, or do you put your Christmas tree up at Thanksgiving, right? Excuse me, I got a bit of a cough today, a little bit of a scratch. Oh, I was looking at this today. Oh, just things. Uh, I was trying to figure out things that bother me, like if you're in a large setting and stuff, like things that would bother me or I would feel uncomfortable with. So you had to make a list of things. And then they said, well, if you got upset and stuff, and then afterwards you had to make a list of things of how do you cope, right? When you get stressed like that. Yeah, and yeah, and it was pretty interesting because I know I'm an eater. When I get stressed, I know that I do go for the carbs. Like I usually will go for the don't. I haven't since May. I've had no carbs since May, but normally I would be doing like, donuts and cookies and stuff like that, ice cream. Yeah, so I'm an eater, and but I comply on most. I found like when I gave it some real thought, like I usually, I will comply, like not comply. What do you call that? When you avoid conflict and stuff. And I always find like if I just give in, that everything just kind of smooths out. But so when I made note of that, I do that complying, then I thought, well, maybe I should start using my own judgment from now on and not trying to please other people, right? So much. So I've been trying really hard, just to hold my own ground there, right? Because I do find that I do try to avoid conflict. I don't like conflict. I'm not an arguer or anything. Like I like to debate and I like to discuss and I like to prove, but it's in a friendly conversation, right? I just don't like that, that 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 aggressiveness, that kind of, listen to me kind of thing, right? Yeah, so I usually will just, back off and just comply with whatever that person needs at that moment to calm them down, right? So that was interesting that I figured out. But then they wanted me to write how to cope with managing, right? And then you had to make a list of 5 things that were bad, that ways that you cope when things go wrong, or when you're stressed out, or when you're really sad. But then they also wanted you make a list of 5 good things, right? That you do that help you cope, but they're good habits, right? And then they wanted you make a list of 5 new ones, because they want you to start replacing the bad habits with a new good habit. But it was pretty good, because I only had 4 bad habits, and a couple of them were bad habits. A couple I actually had to think about, and the 5th one I couldn't even figure another one out, right? But I'm sure I could, because there's always little things we dislike about us. But I don't think they were talking about little things. They were talking about, big things that we do to help us cope with stress. How do you guys cope with stress? Right? I know I'm an eater. I'm not a water drinker. I go through phases, In the summertime, I'll drink more water. But yeah, I was thinking about it today, that I should be starting those. And I haven't been good with my vitamins the past couple of weeks. I noticed that I've been missing my vitamins, right? And I'm usually very, very good with my vitamins. But yeah, past couple of weeks I've been really, really not good with my vitamins. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was I just gave it a thought. I thought, well, like, if you're going to go visit one part of the family, that, you would take their Christmas presents, because you weren't going to see them at Christmas, right? That maybe you would put your tree up early and kind of celebrate a little Christmas, with family on at Thanksgiving. Good one, Robert. That's a Going for a car drive or walks in the woods, even if you just go to the park and sit at the bench and just, look at people, just even walking around the block, of where you live, right? Like, yeah, you got it. You for sure, Robert. That's exactly what you want to be doing, because that just doesn't help you physically, right? It helps you emotionally, right? It helps you emotionally, right? So it helps you to get away and, yeah, bring yourself down and stuff. So yeah, perfect, Robert. Yeah, that's good to hear. Oh, beaches. Yeah, beach is nice too. Oh, well, we have beaches here in Winnipeg, right? So I do on occasion go up to Winnipeg Beach. We have a lake here. It's like 24,000 square kilometers. It's a huge lake. It takes up probably 1/6 of our province. That's how big this lake is, right? And yeah, I go there all the time. You can't see the end. You can't see the sides of this lake. It looks like an ocean, right? Even it gets waves and everything, because they have big fishing boats out there too, right? But but to see a real ocean, it's been decades, decades. I can't even remember when, maybe in the late 90s, when I went to my high school reunion, maybe 1990, graduated in 1980. Yeah, so 1990 maybe would have been the last time that I'd seen the ocean. Yeah. But I love the smell of the ocean, the way it mixes with the sand, right? The smells, but the actual ocean itself, I don't miss so much, right? Because as a kid, I loved to swim in the ocean and everything. But yeah, after I saw that movie Jaws, I had no interest of even going knee deep into the ocean after that. Yeah, that movie ruined it for me, for the ocean. And I used to swim out really, really far too. So it could have been a reason why I was scared of the ocean after that. Maybe actually, I might have drowned or something, because I think I was like 12 years old when Jaws came out. Yeah, and that's when I stopped going into the ocean because I was afraid of the sharks, right? And the sharks don't get really that far north up there in Vancouver. I'm sure there's like bullheads and stuff, but yeah, there's for deadly sharks, they don't get up that way too often. Mind you, there's big bull sharks in the St. Lawrence River. I watched a documentary, like big bull. They had video of those sharks, right? Yeah. So do you work on a schedule there, Andrew? Do you use charting, when you do your scheduling to get your tasks done? Exactly, Aaron. And that's what I did too, right? I was exploring. I didn't know it at the time, right? I was doing it for fun. I didn't realize the association of being outside. They call it grounding, or earthing. They call it earthing too, when you actually pull good energy, strong energies, and rejuvenate yourself by just connecting with nature, right? Yeah, so I didn't know it at the time. I just thought I was having fun outdoors. I've always been that person, right? That just wanted to be outdoors all the time. Even, as a kid, like all summer long, I didn't even use the bedroom. I had a pop tent out in the backyard and I slept out in the backyard like all summer long, right? Yeah, but yeah, it was I think in just the past year, maybe a year and a half. It hasn't been long. Oh no, it might not even been. It might have even been like this spring. I actually think. Wow, I've learned so much in such a short span of time. Yeah, I don't know how I was able to do that. Yeah, it was interesting, but I was a maniac when it came to learning like that. Yeah. And it still hasn't been slowing down, right? Because now I'm studying myself, right? Yeah. There's always something to learn, always something to learn. Oh, a to-do list. Oh, okay. And do you do that the night before or do you do that in the morning, Andrew? I make a six list. I jot down six things that I want to get done, right? And then I'll try and at least get three of those things done. I'll try and get all six done, but I'll try and at least get three of those things done. And then whatever I don't get accomplished, then I will put that on my list for the next day, right? And then I just try and get things done that way. And then, housework and stuff. Well, I have that attitude. Every time I get up, I enter a room, I have to do a couple of things, right? It needs to be done, do it. And so that's how my housework gets done so that I don't have to go out and do big house cleaning projects and stuff. I don't make much of a mess. Yeah, I spend my life at this desk, it seems, right? Yeah. Do you guys listen to those videos, right? With the rain and the nature, right? In the woods. They call it wind and rain. Those videos, they're like meditation videos. I like to listen to them every once in a while. They're like music to me, right? Yeah. I could, you know, I get distracted very easy. So having music on, I that will be for house cleaning and stuff like that. When I'm studying, I want silence. Like I get right into my content, right? Like if somebody's going to put the time out there to teach me something, the least I could do is listen, right? And pay attention, right? And yeah, and when I start, like I see the improvements in me now, right? Like it's like when you start a diet, for the first 25 pounds, nobody even notices that you've lost any weight, right? And then all of a sudden, everybody's, mentioning how skinny you're getting and everything. It's kind of like that, right? So it just kind of caught up with me. And actually, I just kind of made that mental note the other day when I was at my sister's at Thanksgiving, right? I wish I had the picture that I could show you that. She took a picture. One of my sisters took a picture of us, me and my other two sisters, and we hadn't started our diets yet, right? And then she came over this Thanksgiving. She says, I want to recreate this picture. And then she took another picture and we were all posed this exact same way with the turkey roaster and everything like it was from the year before. And when I saw the picture, I just could not believe how much weight I lost. I just really didn't even feel like I was on a diet. Like I noticed in my clothes, but I still have lots of clothes that I can still wear, right? So, maybe it just looks loose on me, but yeah, this is one of my favorite blouses from 20 years ago. But yeah, I kept it because it was a Liz Claiborne, but I'm so happy to be back in it too, right? Yeah, I love this shirt. Yeah, and I need to go through everything too. So I have to make a plan because yeah, if I'm going back to work and stuff, I need proper clothes and everything. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Back at it tomorrow. Back at it tomorrow. So I have to have a plan. So everybody, it's 9 o'clock tonight. I said I was gonna cut her off or at 9 o'clock if I could today. So we're gonna call it a night, and we'll see you next Sunday. And if you do feel that you need to see me during the week, you can come over to Instagram because I'm on Instagram. I post a couple of times every day now over on Instagram. And I do a lot of mindset, right? Like what I'm learning to get better so that I could learn to be a thought leader, right? So that and that's what this is all about too, right? This is just all for practicing and just sowing that, because the one thing that I do want to do is make sure that when I am learning, that I'm learning in a way that I can still be genuine, right? That I can be impromptu, that it's not scripted, right? Because I always want people to feel me like I feel them, right? So it's important for me to do this genuinely, right? So this is all good practice for me, my Sunday lives. Okay, everybody, have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.